And this was one of the beginning of the more complex designs that someone started to say, hey, there are more than just circles. Someone's trying to tell us something here. So I'll go through that. And also what happens is the following year, where the circle was, there's still some effect of the radiation in the field, so the crop that's planted the following year doesn't grow back completely.
And they call that a ghost circle.
Yeah, but that's because there's still some level of radiation that exists that's affecting the growing season.
And boards can't do that.
Yes, boards can't do that. Doug and Dave can't do that. So, and this is one of these imperfect things that obviously is man-made. You don't get the same feeling by looking at this.
It's not perfection.
Yeah, it's just off. I mean, this was an okay attempt, but obviously it's not the same artist, whoever that artist is that's, doing this.
Not the same hand.
Exactly. But there is a consistency, and this is a photoshopped crop circle. For those who, I think this is from an Alex Gray painting, and someone put Ken Wilber in there. You know who Ken Wilber is. Actually, I showed this to Alex Gray. Hey, that's my picture, Alex Gray. So anyway, there are ways of faking it. And there's like, this was calendar, you can't see this very well, but this one had like these number calendars in there. And so people have made art. This guy in Amsterdam colors it in. But these were all real crop circles that I'll show. So the 1990 season, so it started in like 85, but the 1990 season started to become more than just simple circles. So through the 80s, up until 90, there were circles here, circles there, and they would measure them, and there was this little radiation that would happen, and there was sound phenomena, or there was some people may have seen UFOs over it. But then we started to know there was something more happening when this formation began in the early 1990s season, because this obviously looked like some kind of key. To me, it looks like a key. So, and then we had one that was the Mandelbrot set, which, if you know what that is, that's the one. It's the geometric formation that creates fractals that Mandelbrot created. And then, so this is these nodes that get bent. This is what Paul was passing around. This is sometimes happens in the fields.
Those are very bent.
They are very bent. But you see, these could not grow like that naturally. Most stalks grow straight up. I mean, how these were bent this way, nobody really knows. They think high-level radiation.
He refers to hyperdimensional geometry or hyperdimensional physics.
Right.
I mean, can you elaborate?
Yeah,
on
I
this?
think actually we are seeing in these crop circles hyperdimensional design. So we're seeing these two-dimensional designs on a three-dimensional surface, but they're really fourth-dimensional objects. So they're really higher dimensional objects that are being imprinted into the earth, that because we're taking it in through our right brain, they're changing our ability to perceive reality. That was that whole introduction I went through. So I think that's what these designs are doing. They're giving us, so this is obviously two-dimension, but it suggests a three-dimension. But fourth dimension is the fact that, someone explained, let's say we have 2 dimensions, this is 2 dimensions flat, but if we have this, it's 3 dimensions. But if we had another dimension that was invisible, we couldn't perceive, that would be a 4th dimension, in a way. So there's, and consciousness is aware of 4 dimensions, higher dimensions. But the left brain, linear understanding of reality is not. So we just see what we see, but these are hyperdimensional designs, if that answers any questions.
Yes. Part of the mystery, isn't it, is that if it were a tractor of some sort, how does it get out of there?
Exactly.
In other words, where's the tracking of its leaving the area?
Also, these are tramways. These are about 12 feet apart. And so someone has to go in, not damage the crop, and make these designs. But to make something like this, you'd have to make, sometimes you have to make the whole circle and then erase part of it. This guy, Bert Janssen, will go through the breakdown of how this one was made. So you take that geometry, you make a square inside a circle, and then you inscribe another, where's the square, circle, square, circle, square, circle, and then you put little round circles on the end of that.
I mean, that's if you were a human. Would
This is how you reconstruct it.
If a
But
human-
then you have to erase all the lines.
That's if a human were doing
Right, so you have to, once that is constructed here, you have to erase the lines that constructed it, and you can't once the wheat is flattened down.
It's down.
It's down, so you can't do this on the ground basically. You have to work out the designs above and flash it down to the ground somehow. This is the only way. So that's one aspect. That's the creation aspect of it. Now they're giving us these also solar images. This is like the inner planets of our solar system.
Maybe it's just a hologram from above.
Maybe it's a hologram, but something's projecting, but it's obviously, to me, it's coming from above.
Yeah, it's not really there, but we think it's there.
Well, but the
That's
crop
part of
circles
the
are there.
hologram.
But the circles are there.
They're physically there.
They're physically there. It's not like UFOs in the sense that UFOs are there and they're gone. These are there and they're all season. Is that what you mean?
Well,
What?
I'm not verbalizing it
Well,
very well.
well, you'll get there. So they're giving us a lot of signs, wherever they are, I still don't know, of like concentrating on the solar system. So this is the asteroid belt and the orbits of Mars, Earth, Venus, Mercury, and the Sun. For some reason, the Earth is missing from its orbit. Now, I don't know what that means, but it probably means something. It might not mean good. So that was 95. That was 95. And they keep with these themes, you know? They also give us these little animal type themes. This is also from, I think, the 95 season. This is another type of thing. It's the most miraculous thing, I think, that's happening on the planet that can be seen, you know? Everyone can go there and see
You know what bothers me is that these skeptics and debunkers, which are now called deniers and liars, think of all sorts of excuses to try to make people think that they were caused by something else. Paul and I keep speaking about this. We get a kick out of it. A while back, someone tried to say that hedgehogs were responsible for rolling around in hedgehogs.
Well, they could say whatever
It's the most stupidest, you know.
they could say whatever they want, but I don't think hedgehogs can do this.
No.
I mean, if they could, they were great
If
hedgehogs.
they could do that, what else can they do? I've got 1,000 favors.
But no, look at this. This is called a Julia set. This is based on the fractal hedgehogs. These are fractal designs, and
DNA.
it is. Somebody says these circle like sizes are related to sound harmonics. So if you have an echo, a sound wave goes out and it comes back at 2/3 its size, and it kind of echoes. So there's a kind of echoing effect in the dimensional relationships of circle to circle. This was another huge circle here. From the smallest little circle to this, they are perfectly harmonized. I mean, you couldn't do this on a ground in the day with a team of like 50. I mean, it's just so detailed. It's so miraculous.
How grand is that? How much
This
area?
one, I think, is probably like the size of a football field. It's probably 100 yards across.
Question?
Yes.
I would submit
Yes.
that the lack of Earth, which you didn't illuminate on, actually I'm feeling correct that it means you, Earth, are the only planet that is not following the intent of the greater design.
Well, we're getting there, though. I think that's what these designs are all about. They're about giving us design to show us that there is a greater design. So I think that was why that came out early in the crop circle kind of venture. So, but we're catching up. We're catching up to our higher intent. I think that's why they're here. This was a Tree of Life. This was This was another set. Now you can see there are people in there. I'm going to have more shots of people. But those are like people standing in these circles. This is another one that suggests some kind of maybe mechanical device that they're depicting here. That's 98. This is one of those impossible shapes. These are like a triangle.
And also, there's no mistakes in these.
Yeah, and you can't make a mistake because if you stomp the wheat down where you weren't supposed to, there's no way of correcting it.